Mommy, look! Look!
Isabel shouted her lungs out as she warranted the attention of her mother. She was standing in front of the door wearing her mother's lasso. Lisa was tired after having gone the last round to fetch water, but she couldn't help but smile, seeing her little Isabel scurrying around in April, trying to look like her. On the hem of the lasso was written a Swahili saying, "Kupendwa ni utajiri usiokwisha." Though her smile could not hide her fears, clearly Isabel would grow up to be very beautiful, like her. But Lisa knew the price she paid for being beautiful, the scars of beauty. Tears clouded her eyes as she vividly recalled that day. She was working as a maid in one of her prolific minister's house, serving the minister and his elder son who frequented the house. She knew that the boy was eyeing her, but he didn't dare to make such an advancement. Well, she was wrong. This night was different. There were only two of them left in the house, the minister running errands back in the office, and other workers had retired for the night. Only Lisa was left to do the cleanup. "Yo, Lisa, go and get me 2 eggs and scramble them for me." That was the kind of relationship she had with the son, you order and I get. She wasn't in any position to decline. After all, she was only a 20-year-old with no family to fall back to. And declining, even though her shift was over, meant that she was done working there for good, and the dreams that she had could not afford to see her lose a single dime over getting 2 eggs. So like a lamb to the slaughter, she went outside into the moonlit night to the chicken coop to bring the request. She hadn't even opened the door to the coop when she felt an excruciating pain on the back of her head that sent her sprawling to the ground, writhing in pain and agony, then complete darkness. When she came to, her assailant was buckling up his belt, and from his silhouette, he was without a shadow of a doubt the minister's son. She clung to the pieces of her now tattered dress and tried to protect herself from the stinging cold, but the dress couldn't protect her innocence. She was too rattled to speak, and in her throat was the metallic taste of pure terror. She looked up to the heavens, but even the moon had hidden underneath the thick dark clouds to not witness the heinous crime that was being committed. She closed her eyes and bit down on her lip until she felt the taste of blood, and as if on cue, tears started rolling down her eyes. That is how Isabel came to being, an illegitimate child. She was to be aborted, but Lisa didn't have the resources to do so. And also, she was scared because one of her friends died while undergoing the operation. In short, Lisa is a person that has been stricken with life. She has hit rock bottom and she tried to end it to no avail. The birth of her daughter gave her a reason to live. She was drowning, but Isabel was the straw she clutched onto. And together they were to take on the world, just the two of them. Even when it reached the point when Bella started asking about the whereabouts of her father. Mommy always said, "It's just us, baby. Your daddy died a long time ago. Did he love me?" This question always brought Lisa to tears because she had to lie every time. She swallowed hard and with tears swelling up in her eyes. "Yes, honey, he loved you very much." And after that, she would feel terrible the rest of the day, but she knew Isabel wasn't ready to handle the bitter truth. It reached a point that Isabel stopped asking about her father because she knew she wasn't going to get any concrete answer. And in a way, she understood that something might have happened that she wasn't entitled to know. She was growing up so fast. Fast forward 15 years down the road, now 20 years of age, beaming with beauty and courage to take on the world as she has always been taught, Bella gets admitted to one of the most prestigious universities in the country to pursue engineering. She had the brains. She had nothing to fall back to because she came from nothing. Therefore, brains were the only way, do or die. The only problem that she had was trying to fit in. Her brain was her undoing in a way because she got several scholarships from elementary to high school. And that is where she interacted with people from the other side of the wealthy class. The pressure to fit in was too much. And since she was in Rome, well, she did what the Romans do. She adopted a lifestyle that wasn't hers, and she was ashamed to be called a mother's daughter. and even requested her not to come to any school function because mama alikuwa anachoma picha. Well, now at the university, she decided not to pursue engineering but rather to explore her options. And what better option was there other than modeling? It came effortlessly to her. She had a mother's beauty. What more could she ask for? She never informed her mother of the decision that she made, leave her alone to console, because she knew that mom will never approve of it. And the more she stayed in the university, the less she called home. I won't tell you of the vices she engaged in. Being such beauty on campus, she had the attention of every boy, man, and lecturers as well. Whenever she snapped her fingers, men bent to her will and boys craned their necks whenever she passed just to catch a glimpse of perfection. Fast forward again 2 years and Isabel becomes Miss University. And with that came the opportunity to go abroad to further her modeling career. She took her phone and scrolled down to contacts wanting to call mommy to share with her the great news, but then it struck her that she had not called home for such a long time and she felt guilty about it. Without giving it another thought, she deleted the mother's number and decided to write a letter. She never knew that it would be the last communication she would have with her. The letter went like this. Dear Mom, it's Bella, and I'm going to the States. Don't worry about me. Yours truly, Isabel. Short and straight to the point, the letter left a hole in Lisa's heart. She read it and reread it, trying to figure out what happened to her little Bella. But she had no answers. She knew that Bella had an emptiness that even she could not fill. And just like that, Bella flew across the continent to the land of opportunities. Precisely the city that never sleeps. Well, the city loved her and she loved the city and all the pleasures that came with it. Modeling was lucrative there and she could afford any lifestyle she wanted. She could rave the whole night if she so wished, and she did wish. The freedom that she had was immense, and because she didn't want anyone limiting it, she created a spam folder for every foreign email. She knew that is how her mother would try to reach her, and not once did she open that folder. One night as she came home in the wee hours, as usual, she found an envelope laying on a coffee table. She thought it was another gig her manager left for her. But then she saw missed calls from another country code, +254. And as if on cue, her manager called and in a soft, calm voice he asked, "Have you opened the envelope?" "No, what's going on?" "Your mother passed on almost a week ago. My condolences." Her heart sank hearing this and she felt her knees caving in. She was too weak to stand straight, and finding the nearest chair, she sat down gasping for breath. It felt as if her lungs were ripped out of her chest. With a little bit of mustered strength, she ripped open the envelope with trembling hands, and inside was a letter with familiar handwriting. Dear Isabel, my little Bella, I hope this finds you well. Life hasn't been kind to me since your departure. I was diagnosed with cancer 5 years ago, around the time you were going to the States. I've been in and out of the hospital. I could not afford to be admitted. I depended on handouts, and it wasn't enough for the treatment. It was just enough to buy some prescribed pills to keep me going and extend my life expectancy. If you're reading this, then it's too late. The disease has finally caught up with me. It wasn't cancer that killed me. I was already dead inside after we left. Part of me left with you. Not that I'm blaming you or anything, but you are my reason to live, baby. I could afford this disease and come through the other side whole, but I just didn't have any strength in me to fight. To whom would I go back to after the fight? Tell me. No one, honey. No one. I don't want to go with this to the grave. Though this is not the best time to tell it, you have a right to know. Your father raped me. That is why I never mentioned him to you. But trust me, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I always loved you and always will. Never doubt that, my love. I wish you well, my little Isabel. Oh, my Isabel. Until we meet again, fly, little bird. Your mother. Now Isabel is seated in a room, and all she can remember about her mother is all those times she was embarrassed to be called her daughter. The pain that she felt right now was too much to bear, and she could not help but sob uncontrollably. All she saw was her mother's once beautiful face now filled with wrinkles, frowning down on her. "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." She tried to ease the pain, but her mother was no more. The deeper she thought about it, the more afflicted she felt. It was as if her heart was being pierced by 1,000 knives and set on fire. For once in her life, she felt scared and vulnerable. "I have no heart. I don't deserve to live." She went into her kitchen cabinet and took some drugs that were there and overdosed. Within no time, she was drowsy and fell to the floor with a soft thud. Goosebumps were all over her body due to the chilly floor, but she felt calm and peace sweeping over her. "Mama, wait for me." And she closed her eyes to a world of vast emptiness and darkness.